Welcome to Ketchy Nation Talk. This is going to be episode 00. This is more of a Solomon type of a episode because of what has happened with Rocket Punch. So before I introduce my co-host here, I'm going to go into details of exactly what has happened. So I'm going to start by reading the statement here, and this is William's statement that they had, and it goes like this. It'll translate like this. Hello, this is William Entertainment. We would like to express our gratitude to fans who always send endless love and support to our artists. Rocket Punch member Juri, who has been with us for the past time, is a foreign member and has a different contract period from the other members. As of today, May 24th, the date, she has terminated her management contract with us. However, we will continue to support each other's future wherever we are. We would like to express our sincere gratitude to Juri, who has been with us for a long time, and also the fans who has always shown her unwavering love. Willem Entertainment will continue to provide support and encouragement to Juri, who will greet her in various fields, and we ask you to give her generous love and support. Additionally, Rocket Punch will continue its activities as a 5-member system. Thank you. So, this being somewhat of a solemn episode because the fact that Juri has actually left Rocket Punch. So, that is the biggest topic up to the date, and it really, really is a one that really affects the group. And here's my co-host, Big Brother Alex.
Fine.
Yeah, it's. Whew.
Yeah.
First question I have for you is when you found out. When was the time you found out this news? Were you eating a slice of bread? Were you waking?
Yeah. So I'm Alex, Big Brother. Just wanted to say, at first, I just want to wish strength to every Ketchy, and if there's members listening, I want them to understand that things don't change. Like, the support will be still there. They will be missing. The feelings will be, there will be hurt and there will be disappointment, but we'll get over it. Hit the World Right Rocket Punch. But back to your question, I wasn't that active to follow anything because I thought, everything goes as normally things go in K-pop scene, and all the groups are just doing whatever. And it was a totally different reason that I went to X just to check out weather and stuff, because I was thinking to go outside and maybe see a soccer match or something or whatever. And I went there and saw the contacts that I have there, Ketchys. I saw thank you, Juri. I was like, is it Yuri's birthday? No. Is it something else that we have accomplished, or there is something good? And then I started to think because there were crying emojis and so oh shit, something not good has happened, and that's why this the hashtag thank you Juri, and so that was how I started to find out, and just first I thought, I honestly first thought that somebody was trolling, and I was sending come on, is this really? Because there was this that I was even. I know this is quite harsh and maybe controversial, but I was more ready for information that that Rocket Punch will be disbanded, or there will be postponed, or there will be problems with the company, or all those things went through my mind first. I didn't have any idea that some member would left, because we didn't know about the contract. There was nothing in the. I watched every Weverse live. There was nothing on it. Pocket Doll, nothing on it. No hints in a way. and Yuri was active with the girls and did TikToks. There was nothing. There was nothing telling that there would be a difference, and so I was kind of like I was kind of being ready for every other situation and how to react to it. Then react that a member, and in this case, Yuri will leave the group and the contract will end, and the William will not renew it, and just um. So then I started to contact some other catchies and say, wow, like just writing chats or with Discord, and then I finally like really fastly knew that it's really happened, and oh my god, it was really unreal, because we can talk about about Rocket Punch future. We can talk about the fandom. We can talk about the that there's been a long time since next comeback but those things doesn't matter. Those things doesn't matter at all when something like this big happens. It's like you're not thinking about yourself, but firstly you're thinking like why this happened, and how would, like, you feel this kind of pain for the members and for Yuri first, and then you kind of reflect it to yourself, like like what now? Because she has been, I know for you that it's been even longer, but for me she has been part of my life and part of like a person that I really liked and loved it from uh, from the Produce 48 series onwards. So, and I remember how happy I was, and kind of like it's like like you, I also stand on one of my favorite groups. One of my two. I only have two favorite K-pop groups. Another one, the first one was well, another one. The other one of those was Lovely. So I was so happy that she went to a company and so on, and there will be a girl group about and so on and so on. But yeah, it's definitely was a shock. I'm definitely feel more okay, or like more stable with this than yesterday. Yes, like yesterday I would have been a total wreck, and this would be a totally different podcast. Let's say, let's say that way. Like there was so much hate, also not towards Yuri, but towards company and towards how we didn't know anything about it, and there was nothing, not the right way to not the right way to end it, but now it's more disappointment and sadness and missing her, and also a little bit confused what happens next. But I think we will talk about it later. So Paul, how did you find it out, and what were your first reactions?
Um, for me, I was just, I think, getting off work, and my buddies who's on Instagram, I think one of them posted is like, "Yo, this is what happened." I was like, "Fuck." I was like in my mind, I was like, "Shit." And this is like on, it's like real time because you can tell because
Mm.
Willem just posted it 48 minutes ago, and I was like, "What's going on?" I was like, "Damn." Like it was, it's like me getting off work. Work is kind of physical and whatnot. So, so I'm reading that. I'm going, oh, geez, like this is not good.
Yeah.
like to me, it's like it didn't like
It
it
didn't
didn't
hit you like
like it
first.
didn't register. But I knew in my mind,
Yeah.
I was like that this sucks. Like this is not good. You know, and there's like for me, I knew straight up. I was like, this is real. This is happening.
Yeah.
No, I just part of me just didn't know how to react because my group already, Lovely's,
Mm.
they've been disbanded for a while. So to me, like this, I'm just like, I just didn't. To me, when I read the statement and also, which we'll get to, but yeah, during the time, I'm not happy about that. But at the same time, I understood her circumstance, and I was okay with it. So I checked her Instagram. I was like, oh, let me check her thing too.
Mm.
And lo and behold, it was there, and I was like, yep, this is real. It's not happened, man. And
Yeah.
then, of course, the next thing I did was look around Twitter, and I was waiting for to see the other, other catchy's responses. I was like, we have people that we know for a long time who are catchies.
Mm.
I was waiting for them to react and see what their thing, especially we know, so we know like two others who's like really really into this fandom, and it just sucks, and to me that's the thing, right? Like it sucks to see it, but you understood the reason behind it too, not what she said earlier, which we'll get into. It's just overall, what we believe this company is all about, this agency. But yeah, like not seeing Juri as an idol anymore is kind of, I
Yeah.
don't know. It doesn't dawn on you because she's been
No,
there.
no.
She's been at it for a long time, right? And you're like, now she just wants to just be a company person, help out others to reach their dreams and do that. Which
Mm.
if you know her from AKB48 and whatnot, you know that she was always that leader. She's always the one that tries to help out all the time.
Yeah.
Tells it like it is. That's who she is. So I get why
That's it.
she made a company based on that. But overall, when everything happened, even now, I'm just like kind of like
Yeah.
thinking
And
about it. Just,
since I know that you already knew Yuri from AKB times and so on, so in a way, how do you say? In a way, it was a big reason that you have been followed the. How was your reaction? Like, I'm curious. What was your reaction then, Yuri? Those years and years ago, joined Rocket Punch and the company William.
no, I thought it was great. I thought she's
Yeah.
going to a really good company. At the time, Willem wasn't sure. They're like, oh, Willem is one of those great companies, they're not going to screw you over. Well, 5 years
Yeah.
later, our stance has changed completely over that Produce 48. Yeah, when we saw her there too, I was like, watch this girl.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah. It is.
it's been one of
But
those things, when you start watching more and more of it. And she's like the one that she makes you laugh. And then she has her, what's it, Juriful Days, I think, right? Her
mm,
her episodes and whatnot. Like, it's one of the great content that they were making out there, or what she was making, and it was nuts.
yeah, and there is you know more about it, but there is a whole new section about like Yuri stans, those from AGP days, or those who
Oh
are
boy,
more
man.
into her as a person or idol than the group.
I don't
I
even
mean, there
I don't even want to know what they feel because
Yuri has been still out there. She's loved by so many, not only by Ketchy, but by variety show people, and she has done everything she can be to be there. And there was nothing saying about her activity that she was losing interest or she was depressed or anything like that. That's why it hit like 100 blocks of like. That's why it's still confusing me why this happened.
well, let's get into this whole thing, right? I mean that Willem had, right, and I think
Yeah, that was a basic one and kind of a hollow one and kind of no emotion at all.
well
Like
that's the problem, right?
I honestly think that that's just like some PR group that didn't even know Rocket Punch very well just put out
Yeah,
there.
but
It's really hollow.
that's to me is the biggest problem
Mm.
that they didn't. We don't want to celebrate people leaving and stuff, but they could have at least made it more positive, right? Even
Yeah.
the statement just like reeks of get out. We don't want you anymore. Like whatever.
Mm.
Like they didn't do they just said oh this and this the usual thing they say. You know, and they say oh their contract is different. Like if you really read into it, and I'm not saying read into it. Like if you really look into it, there was this thing you told me earlier, right? Like we had a discussion outside of this podcast. You know, he's like it makes you wonder like how many more years does the group have? Like is Willem counting down the days that Rocky Punch is like no more? Like if I'm being honest with you, they worded that statement, even if it was translated. If you probably put it in the thing, it almost probably sounds the same thing. Like oh she was a foreign member, she only had this. She something's wrong with this. Like this statement makes like it just
Not
reeks
saying,
of.
yeah.
It's just we didn't try to keep you. We're just telling you you're done. That's
Mm.
it. Get out. Like
Yeah.
is that
Yeah.
what they're
Basically.
saying to the other girls too? Like you only have 2 or 3 years left. That's your contract. That's all we're gonna have for
I
you.
mean, I
We're not
mean,
gonna
next
resign you.
couple of months show it. Like, if there's
Jeez,
not
man.
gonna be a comeback like soon, if there is gonna be like, let's say that there will be less and less interactions or lives or whatever, then I know that it's kind of like saying a long goodbye or whatever. Like, if the reaction from the company is after like this thing that has happened, like Yuri leaving, if the reaction is that there will be a comeback soon and we will, there will be new, new songs or whatever, then I will maybe understand a little bit, or say that they still believe in Rocket Punch, that they still kind of think about the five girls at least, which is kind of, but if there be a postponed, and if there is nothing happening, and if there will be like reactions for the girls, and there will be nothing supportive happening, not like a reality show or anything like that, then I would like really think that they are just counting days, and then I would be really worried about the other members also. So I think 2 months shows a little bit, but I'm reaching, I'm clinging, I'm clinging to the hope. Yeah.
As I'm saying, the statement itself is just there's no sense. That's the thing. Like that. Like Willem, the reason we're fans are reacting they're reacting as they are is like some has said in Twitter like we didn't say our goodbyes, and I know Yuri says
Yeah.
oh there's no goodbyes here, but I we have to see it from the fans' point of view. We're not seeing you.
Yeah.
We still it's like we still love Yuri. Like no matter if she's Rocky Punch or not, we still love her. But
Yeah.
the thing is,
Definitely.
we can't see her as Juri Rocket Punch anymore, and I think that's the thing that people are wanting to say goodbye to. You know, say, "Oh, here's my last live. I'm sorry, I'm gonna leave this company." Blah 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 blah.
Yeah, and yeah, and the thing is that, sorry to like, but the thing is that that would be so Jury thing to do something like that. Jury is not the, that kind of person that is gonna hide things or anything. That's why I feel
Exactly.
that there's some kind of restriction, because I think Yuri would have done it if she would have a chance to say that she's doing something else and she loves us so much
Right.
and this is her
Which
last
is
life. She would have
yeah.
done it.
Which is what I believe was that there was never a recontract negotiation. This is why I believe
Mm,
that never really happened or anything of that sort. Because usually
yeah,
when you hear anything, even from a low level, you know, when it comes to we usually hear any some sort of contract negotiation going on, like some sort of thing, right? We are nothing, and then she's still uploading to she uploads to Rocky Punch like a day before, and then later on
TikTok.
she's like,
Yeah,
"Don't let the door hit you." Like,
it
okay,
was also awful. She has been of a long time with us, or how was that? Like, she's the member of Rocket Punch. She's not like the one of the hairstylists. Like, you could give some respect or some kind of like like we loved her as an idol, or we hope her as a as a talented member of the Rocket Punch, and uh, she gave a lot of great moments for the fans and for us, and something like that. At least put something like that. But that was like one of our company. You know, she has been a foreign member. That's why she has a 5 year and not 7 year. Like,
That's all I'm saying. What I'm trying to point out here is, it's just the act of what Willem did, and this is why the fans reacted they did, and they acted positively towards Juri because they're like, it's not like Juri wanted to leave or anything like that. Like, what choice does she have if the company doesn't want her anyways? Like, that's how it feels like. Even though she made
yeah,
a statement saying it's my choice, we know for sure. We have an inkling idea that was never the case. Like they didn't go straight up to her and say, "Hey, we still want you here. Do you want to resign and do all stuff?" I don't think
yeah,
that ever even happened because like she made her sincere goodbye on her Instagram when none of it was even posted on Rocket Punch's official.
yeah,
And let's get into the whole thing. Like,
yeah.
um, well, let's go with Jury first, right? We're not
Yeah.
gonna hate Jury no matter.
Not as an idol in the spotlight, but maybe still do like you know TikTok and YouTube, like many do, like many ex uh, idols, K-pop idols too. That's my hope, and I can still follow her and send her messages and watch
Yeah.
content. That's my hope, but I'm not sure if that happens.
Well,
So
this is the thing, right? Well, what Jerry did and what she has done and what she
mhm.
was doing now.
If you watch from this month, I think, or last month, or
Mhm.
I don't remember what was it, but there was a group Weavers live. Nothing bad about it. There was after that solo live. She was smiling and saying, "Ketsi, see you soon," and no, and she's not acting like that. She's 100% real. That's why we love her. So for me, it tells that she was kind of ambushed, or she maybe thought that there will be a renew, if not for 5 years, maybe 2 years more, and see with the girls what they're gonna do or whatever.
Yeah, we're okay with Yuri leaving. We get it. We
Yeah,
understand. Um, that's never the situation. Seeing it's kind of like she already planned out. If it doesn't work out, this is what I'm gonna do, and then she already has it all pre-planned. You know, they probably talked to her
yeah.
already and saying that they're probably not gonna renew her contract, and that's that.
There are 3 points that I want to make, like why I think she was totally ambushed. Like, one thing is that there were no, like you said, there were no news that they are negotiating, or they're thinking other things for the members or for Yuri especially or whatever. That was one point. The second point is that we all know that she's 100% real. She doesn't act to catches, she doesn't act to cameras. She's just like how she is. And the difference between the Weaver's lives that she did with the group, even what she did as a solo, to this last one, is like completely different. Like she's almost crying and seeing all the messages. I cannot like read all the messages that Ketch up putting there, and that's the second point. The third point is the reaction of the company. Like you write that kind of uh, statement for someone who has been like working as a one of the workers on the accounting side or whatever. It's not something that you write about somebody who has been a member of Rocket Punch for so many years, given them so many, I think also financially, but it should be also emotionally and new experience and everything. And it's just like that makes me like think that. that he was totally like surprised about this corporate decision in a way.
No, I pointed out already that
Yeah,
that that I don't believe they never really did anything towards to make her come back. That's basically it.
yeah.
So,
But
well, now we're gonna get to the next topic, which is Rocky Punch itself.
mm,
With Juri out now, that synergy just, I mean, five.
I don't know how the girls will react to this. Did they know before? Were they ever in peace with it? What are they now in shock? Are they kind of like how they will tell this to their fans, and will that show in the next Weavers? Like the girls are not robots. We are not robots. Like we are all human beings. Like that worries me. Like what is I mean, we will see what we will see in the next Weavers that I'm sure that
Oh boy.
hopefully they do soon, and they kind of like
Well,
say that we are okay and
yeah.
that we are excited. But hopefully they have like that's the thing that I hate about K-pop is that maybe they even can't talk about Yuri at all,
No, they
and that
can't.
why she left or
They
that they
can't.
miss her or whatever. It's
They can't.
like, oh, nothing has happened really. Yeah,
If anything, they're probably gonna lay low a little bit and let the whole thing kind of simmer a little bit.
yeah,
Maybe we can all go in. Well, let's
yeah,
get the
yeah.
aspect of Rocket Punch itself. With five members now, you're gonna be missing someone who's sort of a leader in that sense. Like in terms of music wise and whatnot, you lose a vocalist also in that terms. You know,
Yeah.
someone who has really good stage presence and charisma on the floor. It's I don't know how you can replace that and how you can even make that
No,
work.
you can. No,
That's
you can.
that's really tough to replace. Here's the thing, right? Yes, of course, it's gonna affect the fans, especially the Japanese problem. And I look at this also with Instagram, and yeah, I see their social media presence and whatnot. Think about it,
Mm.
these girls have opened up their what Instagrams and whatnot, right? Like they open
Oh,
up their
really?
personal accounts.
It's not a good one.
How many followers do they have? Yuri has what, 17,000. I'm not saying that's a bad thing. I'm just saying, is that a good thing?
Yeah.
This is the thing. Since now that Yuri has left and you have five members now, is can Rocket Punch make a surge? You know, make something viral, make something happen, and really re-energize their popular, their careers a little bit. I know they get these awards. Oh, this is why I said we have to get into Rocky Punch themselves. We know the competition, especially in girl groups now, has quadrupled. Really, really tough to get behind the numbers that they were accustomed to before these groups. You know, these so-called new groups coming out. When you have certain groups now who's able to get into the actual melon charts and actually move down that chart. I'm not gonna say what groups they are because we're in the Ketchy Nation talk, but I'm just pointing
Yeah.
out
Yeah.
these are new groups and they're really dominating the industry in
Mm.
that sense. So where does the five-member groups of Rocky Punch go? We know in that sense that a comeback is not going to be helpful if the music or the song
Mm.
is not strong enough to replicate and actually help them. The girls are talented enough to get any genre in. You know,
Mm.
what can they do now as a five-member group? Here's the thing that Willem is looking at, and I unfortunately understand in that sense why
Mm.
they react they did with Rocky Punch compared to, let's say, if it was their boy groups and whatnot. It's
Yeah.
just the money is not there. The fandom is not strong enough to support this group in terms of what Willem wants it to go. The directions that's been going on is just not. It's no good. Like no, it's just not working out. No matter how much they point it. and part of it is the managers that's been placed with Rocket Punch. What I think Willem is looking for is kind of consistencies. When you are, when your group is going into 5 years, looking at it as what the corporate's already looking at Rocket Punch as, we don't know what to do with. Yeah, like we don't know what to do with this group. We'll probably give them a comeback, but we don't know if it's gonna make it matter in that sense. Hence why they focus on their boy groups, because and I think one of the biggest problems with that, and the biggest one there, was the lack of managing this group. The girls are talented, don't get me wrong with that. If you look at the resurgence of certain groups, again, I'm not gonna go into which ones. You'll see.
You can mention.
I don't want to. But the thing is, you'll see the resurgence of these certain groups. They start out low, now they're peaking. Like they're starting to find their flow. They're starting to see what concept works for them, what doesn't. I mean, we even seen some major big ones where they straight up, people called them that they were no good. They're failures.
True.
They're a bust. They're no good. A year or two later, now they're really good. They're making wins. We want the same thing, right? Out to we've been saying over and over again that this was a possibility years ago. I'm not saying how they're gonna do it now. I'm saying years ago, they had a possibility of making the same thing happen. They had the spark of Produce 48, and they had the songs they're going in with. They got some songs that were really popping for some reason. They got there, and then it just dropped.
Nothing happened. They didn't put, in that place you should put more effort and more support. So it was they haven't really believed in the girl groups ever.
So the biggest problem is not the girls themselves. The girls are trying their very best to make whatever situation as best. Words and whatnot that I've seen. So it's not that they're a lost cause in that sense. It's just the problem is the company looks at them as a lost cause. When unfortunately they're comparing them to the new generation girl groups out there who's making twice as amount that they're doing or quadruple the amount, and they're like, why can't we have that? We have the best trainers that we have in terms of training trainees, but we can't manage to make a group as successful as those groups. They had one in Lovelies, and then they kicked them out. So the thing for me is what can they do now for Rocket Punch as 5 members? Not the company themselves, but what would be the thing that would make Rocket Punch, stand out now? They need to focus on making Yeonhee as visible as possible. She straight out needs to overcome whatever her thing is and go from that. Which is why I believe now that Elzip is 100% coming down to KCON LA and these other places, right? And if you hear me out, anyone here who's going to those things, right, and you see Elzip, I will say right now, you gotta, if you're a real catchy, you better root for her 100%, that's one thing. But getting back to the point, one thing they can do is to really, really focus on Yeonhee and put her right on the top and see what ways that they can really show her potential and then work with that, right? Because she has it. She has what it takes to get all the way to the top. On top of it, you still have Suyeon, who also looks like has a lot more fans, or at least those are more than the others. So again, I'm not pointing out that the group is a lost cause. I just feel the company looks at them as a lost cause. So even if we did get a comeback, if they're not going to choose the right song for them or whatnot, then we're back to square one with this, right? And I will say this one thing: we deep down inside, every Ketchy had a feeling something like this was gonna happen. We just didn't know
Yeah.
when. We just know it was gonna happen. We had a gut feeling this was gonna happen just because of how
Mm.
Willem has treated this group overall, promoting them. They're not pushing them to do all these certain things. Like there's there's no lack of effort on their end, and it shows
Mm.
because when you compare it to the boy group side of things, they're like they giving them everything. They give them all the resources. They have all the stuff. And then when it comes to Rocky Punch, they get the scraps. They said, "Well, here you go. This is what you're gonna work with. Hopefully, it works out for you." Like that's the basic what it has
Mm.
been for
Yeah.
years, and we've been trying to let them know that's not the way it goes. There'd be a number of times where Golden Child probably would have gone down here, and they could have brought Rocky Punch with them. There was no decision on that.
Mm.
So it goes to me my against my belief. Like you have these other so called new groups coming in, and then you can't bring Rocket Punch here, which probably would have needed it anyways, but said, "Hey, it's not gonna work anyways."
It's just a really strange situation. Like I'm not saying that we both know that there are other groups that has been started at the same time, and some has disbanded and some are also difficulties, but it's not like that. It's a strange being in this middle ground in a way, because girls are still out there like doing some music MC stuff and
Yeah,
variety things, and TikTok people like their TikToks and everything. So it's kind of a middle thing, like it could go either way in a way. And now that Yuri has happened, it kind of like makes me think a little bit about like.
so I get the thing. I what I wanna what I wanna know now is even if the Rocky Punch doesn't get a comeback with 5 members, how many of the catchies are gonna stand by and say, "Am I gonna
Mm.
stick with trying to support or even give money to this company?" Or
But
that's the problem now. Now all the effort that the girls have done thus far is gonna go out the window because of this situation. And
yeah,
like I said, we're not the fans are not going to go up against Yuri by any means. They're just
no,
all this is all about they don't like what the company has done. They're just gonna do that. So
it just doesn't make sense for
boy,
me.
boy, man.
I come back this again. Like I try to understand what you're saying in a way. I try to understand that there could be a comeback or they will do something. At the same time, if you as a company think that we need to get this more popular, we need to let's give it a chance or whatever. The the solution is not to kick out one of your strongest members who is more like has most popularity with Yoni to just kick her out. That's not the way
I
to give
yeah.
your group a better chance.
I'll rephrase it. I'll rephrase. They didn't kick her out. They just didn't want her back. That's the thing, right? The potential on the 5 member, and what we hope will happen later on is it would work out. But usually when things like this, especially one as beloved as Juri as the one leaving, it's hard to come back from that. I don't see it working out as well
But
anymore because
well,
now the fans are going to thinking should we give money to a company that we don't like,
yeah,
and I don't know.
we believe on those 5 members, and that's the thing. Like in the end of this podcast, I want to also focus on that we believe them. Then if they now that they are a 5 member group, it doesn't make them us to care about them less or whatever. We love those 5 members. We love Yuri also, but we understand that it's now as a Rocket Punch, it's a 5 member group. And I think it's more important them to know that nothing has changed about our feelings about them individually and about the group. And we still believe in them, and we want to come back, and we want everything to be okay. We want them to, because it's hard time for them. Like they are not robots. It has to affect them. Like this, it's a big thing.
I don't think it's gonna get any worse by any means. But I don't think
Yeah.
it's gonna get any better. That's the thing.
Is that a positive thing to say that? No, but I understand what you mean. I understand what you mean.
Like, I'm not against it. As long as the group is still together and they're working towards something, we'll stick to them. Again, like I possibility and for a good chance Elza gets called in for a Cake on LA. For sure, I'm bringing my Rocket Punch light stick, showing no matter what. It's like whatever they're doing. It's not a concert thing, but if it's if it's any events or stuff.
I don't know. If you don't laugh, you cry. So I guess that's the message to to many catches. I know that you're all struggling, and
Oh
everybody
boy,
has a lot of
man.
questions
Oh
and
boy.
stuff like that. And this podcast doesn't. This is not like a magic spell that helps everybody over it. But
I
I just
will
hope that
I will point out everything we speak of, contracts and whatnot. All that speculation, just
everything we
opinion.
talk here is our opinions,
So
and it's speculation. It's more about thinking process and like just talking about it, and only you know but we can't in a way we can't talk about facts because we nobody gives us facts, like the company doesn't give us facts, so how can we know about facts? So anyways, I don't know if there is.
I I think we covered everything we need about this
I
whole
think we
topic.
covered everything, and I don't really think I think there's nothing that I can really say to kind of I just have to say I will miss Yuri. I will always love her and support her whatever she does, and and let's hope everything goes well, and that there will be more positive podcasts next time. Thank.
And I'll say is we're always gonna support Yuri for what she does, and it's not goodbyes like she said. You can always see her on
No, no.
Instagram and whatnot, and
That's why I
also
want her to be a YouTube influencer or own personal
so
TikTok and Instagram and
so
see
so
follow
none
her.
of that's goodbyes, and
Yeah,
this is just us talking and trying to figure everything out and whatnot.
yeah,
In the end, this is how we're the discussion, and then how it all played out. Um, Again, this is not going to be like our usual YouTube where we tell you to subscribe and whatnot. I just think,
yeah. Uh, like I wish everybody great times, even if this is like there's nothing I can say. We all know how we all feel about it. So let's just march on and see what happens.
all right. Um,
Yeah.
so this is Ketchy Nation Talk. Signing out, Poetic Headset and Big Brother Alex. See you later,
Bye.
and have a
Yuri, I
great
love you.
day.
Bye. I miss you. Bye.